Have you ever noticed that the more the world talks about wealth, the more people seem to be broke? Strange, isn't it? But the truth is, most were taught to pursue the wrong path. Thousands of years ago, in Babylon, ordinary men discovered secrets that transformed their lives, and these teachings, based on ancient books, have survived the test of time, waiting for those brave enough to apply them. Imagine having access to wisdom that spanned empires and continents, but which most ignored. A secret so powerful that the wealthy of ancient times didn't need luck, just the right habits and a disciplined mindset. Based on the theme of master mindset, these laws of prosperity could have changed anyone's story, and they can still change yours today. If you've ever felt lost amidst promises of getting rich quick, get ready. In this video, you'll discover something counterintuitive, something no one told you, and that, if applied correctly, can put you ahead of everyone. Babylon may have been forgotten by time, but its teachings on wealth live on, and now it's your turn to awaken to them. Some say that certain secrets never disappear, they merely hide in the dust of time. Thousands of years ago, in the burning heart of Babylon, a scroll was written by hands that knew the laws of prosperity as if they had been engraved on the human spirit itself. Within it lay the foundations that transformed ordinary men into masters of abundance. Today, almost no one remembers it, but the echoes of this wisdom still resonate in every person who seeks to prosper with purpose. The desert sands covered temples, but they couldn't bury the mindset of the masters. Those who understood that true wealth wasn't in accumulating gold, but in shaping the mind that attracts it. It's curious, because the modern world boasts so much knowledge yet ignores the same laws that created the empires of the past. Perhaps that's why many still seek prosperity without ever achieving it. The Lost Scroll is more than a metaphor. It symbolizes everything we've forgotten about the power of discipline, faith, and mindset. Whoever finds it doesn't need magic formulas, they just need to understand the ancient laws of wealth. And it is precisely at this point in the journey that our story begins. With a city that was the cradle of all these secrets. They say that if humanity had a soul, it would have been born in Babylon. There, amid stone walls and golden rivers of commerce, the first laws of prosperity emerged. The Babylonians were masters of something the modern world still struggles to understand, transforming wisdom into wealth. They knew that fortune wasn't chance, it was science. And this science was written not in books, but in the way they lived, traded, and thought. Merchants roamed deserts in search of spices, but they knew that the true treasure was reputation, the invisible credit born of trust. Craftsmen, merchants, and scribes created an ecosystem of prosperity based on the mindset of masters. No one waited for luck. Everyone learned the laws of abundance like someone learning to breathe. It was natural, predictable, and, above all, constant. And yet, there was a curious detail. Gold was not the end, but the reflection. The Babylonians believed that gold merely followed the disciplined mind and shunned fools. Today, the same laws are before us, disguised as modern financial rules, but they are the same ancient truths. And it is in this setting, amidst papyrus scrolls and market voices, that the man who would understand the heart of these laws emerges. Arkad. Among the many men who walked the dusty streets of Babylon, there was one whose name became synonymous with prosperity: Arkad. He wasn't born rich, nor did he inherit fortune. He was just a simple scribe, an ordinary man with debts, responsibilities, and dreams too big for his pocket. But Arkad possessed something rare, a willingness to learn from the masters and put into practice what few had the courage to do. They say he spent nights studying the laws of prosperity, copying clay tablets, and observing the habits of the wisest merchants. While others spent everything they earned, he practiced the invisible art of holding gold. When his friends scoffed, saying life was too short to save, Arkad smiled. He knew that today's discipline was tomorrow's freedom. This was how he began building the empire that would inspire generations. But what made Arkad different wasn't just the gold he accumulated, but his understanding of the laws that governed it. He understood that money is obedient to the prosperous mind and rebellious to the negligent. His wisdom resonates to this day. Whoever masters thought, masters fortune. And it was through him that the first Babylonian laws of wealth emerged, the first of them, perhaps the most powerful of all. The first law of prosperity is simple enough to be ignored, and, for that very reason, few follow it: pay yourself before paying others. Arkad said this as if revealing an obvious, yet revolutionary, secret. He believed that every coin saved was a brick in the construction of freedom. In Babylon, wise men set aside the first tenth of everything they earned and treated this amount as sacred and touchable, immutable, the foundation of the future. Saving 10% may seem small, but it's the gesture that transforms money's slave into its master. It's the act of someone who understands that prosperity is a commitment to one's own destiny. A Babylonian merchant, applying this law, said, "It's not gold that sustains me, it's the habit of respecting it." Today, the mentality is the same. Those who invest in themselves first plant the seeds of abundance before the winds of haste sweep everything away. The curious thing is that this law has endured through the centuries and continues to resist modernity. It's found in ancient books, in the words of wise men, and in the advice of great investors. Warren Buffett, for example, repeats the same essence: don't save what's left after spending, spend what's left after saving. And so, ancient Babylon reminds us that saving is more than accumulating, it's declaring to the universe that you're ready to receive more. And this is where the second law arises, the one that turns idle gold into living gold. In Babylon, gold that remained idle was considered dead gold. Arkad said that money, like a seed, only fulfills its purpose if it is planted. He taught that each coin should be used to generate more wealth, whether by lending safely, investing in reliable businesses, or strategically helping others prosper. This law, based on the theme of the master mindset, transforms the simple act of saving into a wealth-multiplying machine. Imagine the Babylonian merchant applying this. He would gather his coins, study opportunities, and let the gold act silently while he slept. Today, the same wisdom applies to modern investments. Equity funds, passive income, real estate, and even small businesses can be channels for putting your gold to work. The important thing is not to let it sit idle, because, as Arkad reminded us, wealth is action, not contemplation. And the most fascinating thing is to realize that, even centuries later, the principles of the ancient books remain as relevant as they were in that ancient city. Passive income, compound interest, and asset multiplication are not modern inventions, they are echoes of the Babylonian laws of prosperity, adapted to today's world. Following this logic, the next law naturally arises, the need to protect what has been achieved before greed or carelessness destroys it all. The Babylonians knew that earning gold was only half the battle. The other half was protecting what they already had. Arkad said, "Greed is the ruin of fools." He taught that rash decisions, risky loans, or ill-advised investments could dissipate a fortune before one even realizes it. This law, based on the laws of prosperity, is about prudence, discipline, and awareness, the ability to see opportunities without being fooled by the glitter of easy profits. To apply this today, it takes more than avoiding obvious risks. Diversifying investments, studying each opportunity, and not being fooled by miraculous promises is essential. Financial pyramid schemes, online scams, and unnecessary debt are modern examples of what Arkad saw as the gold lost through recklessness. Protection is preventive action. How to build walls of security around what you've achieved. The beauty of this law is that it teaches us patience and reflection. Gold can grow, but only if protected. Knowledge can bear fruit, but only if applied wisely. And as the mind strengthens and learns to protect, the fourth law naturally emerges, the one that transforms learning into invisible, untouchable, and eternal wealth. In Babylon, the most valuable gold was not metal, but invisible knowledge. Arkad said that learning was like sowing coins that multiply silently within the mind. Those who invested in ancient books, teachers, and experiences transformed wisdom into tangible wealth. The master's mindset demonstrated that continuous education and curiosity are the keys to creating fortunes that stand the test of time, while the ignorant see everything quickly lost. Today, this law lives on. Reading classics like The Richest Man in Babylon, studying success philosophy, or following trusted mentors are modern ways to put gold to work in the mind. Courses, lectures, investment practices, and even strategic podcasts serve as tools for cultivating this invisible treasure. Those who understand this apply daily growth habits, rather than relying on luck or easy shortcuts. The fascinating thing is that investing in knowledge creates the freedom to make safer decisions, multiply resources, and see opportunities others overlook. Every minute spent learning is a coin deposited in the bank of prosperity, a seed Arkad would probably smile to see germinate. And it is in this preparation of the mind that the fifth law reveals itself, the power of persistence that shapes destiny. In Babylon, giving up was synonymous with disappearing into the dust of time. Arkad knew that fortune isn't built overnight. It's the bricks laid every day that build the empire. Persistence, according to the master's mindset, isn't just persistence, but a strategic discipline, getting up after every mistake, learning from every failure, and continuing to move forward even when no one believes in it. This law reminds us that wealth is the fruit of constancy, not fleeting luck. Imagine a businessman rebuilding his empire after a fire or flood wiped everything out. He didn't expect miracles, he simply applied the eternal principles: planning, discipline, and daily action. Every small step, every careful decision, is a piece that fits into the puzzle of prosperity. Today, this law translates into consistency in investments, business, and even personal habits that accumulate invisible wealth over time. The most powerful thing about this law is that it builds resilience. When the mind becomes accustomed to persistence, challenges cease to be obstacles and become opportunities for growth. It is in this daily, silent, and consistent practice that the sixth law reveals itself, the one that connects protection, learning, and action with the favorable fortune that accompanies the prepared. As the centuries passed, the rush of the modern world began to bury the laws of prosperity under a pile of shortcuts and easy promises. Those seeking quick wealth ignored the teachings of Arkad and the ancient masters, trading discipline for instantaneity. But the principles remain silent, waiting for those who decide to listen, study, and apply them. The true secret of wealth was never lost, it simply became hidden behind the noise of consumption and distraction. Today, many look at investments, careers, and business and still ignore the obvious. Without mindset, without consistent habits, gold is just metal. The lessons of ancient books and Babylon remain relevant, teaching that wealth is built in the mind before it materializes. Those who rediscover these teachings find an advantage over others. The wisdom of the past applied to the present creates opportunities that the modern market rarely reveals. And, curiously, this oblivion of the world is a blessing for those who are awake. Because while most chase illusory shortcuts, those who understand the discipline, persistence, and practical application of these ancient laws can transform every action into a building block of empire. And it is precisely here that we reach the journey's final point, the inspiring conclusion and call to action that connects us with the present and future of abundance. Babylon may have been swallowed by time, but its secrets still live on in those who choose to awaken to them. The gold, coins, and temples may have disappeared, but the laws of prosperity remain unchanged yesterday, today, and forever. Every habit, every principle learned from Arkad and the ancient books is a tool that transforms dreams into reality and the mind into financial strength. Now is the time to choose: continue like everyone else or take control of your own wealth. Applying these laws, cultivating discipline, protecting treasures, investing in knowledge, and persisting even when all seems lost is the key that separates mere spectators from those who build empires. The mindset of the masters is not the privilege of a few, it is a practice accessible to those who decide to act. If you want to continue unlocking the forgotten secrets of wealth, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and awaken your own empire. Each video will be another step toward transforming knowledge into tangible results, thoughts into gold, and vision into real power. The journey has begun, and it's only just begun.